Welcome back to our Advent blocks. Today we are on day 6. Yesterday we heard the story of Leah, and we're going to turn that round and see what letter we've got. It's the letter N. We've got a word that begins Iman, and today is day 6. So let's see what our picture is for today. It's the picture of a coat, and you can see that there are some colours on this coat. So I wonder if you can guess what story we're doing on day 6.
Abraham had a son named Isaac, and Isaac had a son named Jacob, and Jacob had 12 sons, and Joseph was Jacob's favorite son. You might think it is a bad idea for a dad to have a favorite son. Well, you'd be right. Jacob treated Joseph better than his other brothers, giving him more presents all the time. His favorite present was a fancy rainbow robe. Everyone who saw it knew that Joseph was the favorite, and it made Joseph feel special. But it made Joseph's brothers feel jealous and angry. On top of that, God had given Joseph special dreams about how he would be in charge one day. This made Joseph's brothers even more jealous. They started to hate Joseph, and one day they decided to put an end to Joseph, his dreams, and his rainbow robe. Joseph's brothers attacked him, tore off his robe, and sold him as a servant. Then they lied to their father, telling him that Joseph was dead. Meanwhile, Joseph was taken all the way to Egypt, where he became a slave. But it got worse. Joseph was blamed for something he did not do, and he ended up in prison. Then it got worse again. God used a dream to tell Joseph that one of his fellow prisoners was about to be freed. But as soon as he got out, that prisoner forgot all about Joseph. For years, Joseph sat in prison alone. Except he wasn't alone. God was with Joseph. Even when it was hard, even when his brothers sold him, even when he was thrown into prison, even when he was forgotten, God had not forgotten him. God was with him the whole time. In fact, God was going to use Joseph to save his family. God was going to use Joseph to save the world. God gave the king of Egypt a confusing and scary dream, and one of his servants, the very same guy who had been in prison with Joseph, suddenly said, "Wait, I know a guy who is good with dreams." Joseph explained the dream to the king, that there would be a famine and people wouldn't have enough food, and the king put Joseph in charge. Joseph became a prince. The famine was so bad that back home, Joseph's brothers were starving, so they traveled to Egypt to buy food. And wouldn't you know it, they came and knelt before Joseph, not even recognizing him. Joseph couldn't help from crying. He was so happy. "Brothers," he said, "come closer. Don't you see? It's me, Joseph. I know you're scared, but you don't have to be. You wanted to hurt me, but God had other plans, good ones even. You thought I was gone and alone, but God was with me the whole time. He sent me here to Egypt to save us all." Joseph and his brothers rejoiced because God had saved all of them, and together they moved to Egypt. Their family grew, and Joseph grew older. Just before Joseph died, he told his family, "God has been faithful to us and saved us, but Egypt is not our home. Promise me that our children and our children's children won't stay here, but will follow God." Sadly, they didn't. They stayed in Egypt, and the longer they stayed, the further away God seemed. Because they stayed in Egypt, God felt far away. So all of Joseph's children began to hope and to pray, "God, will you come back to stay?"